I got a few minutes of a walk before I have to head toward the shop and do a niner. It's a nice shift, and things have been going well. Things have been going very well at the shop. So it's something that I was thinking very seriously. I was trying to really kind of get a walk in, so I could sort of tone down sort of the "I told you so" laughter, the Schadenfreude, all of that kind of stuff, because of what happened with BLM and what's now being disclosed about Black Lives Matter, that Patrisse Cullors is having to shut, or she has scrubbed her YouTube channel, most likely because there's now going to be too much stuff that if you were to really have historically kind of kept up with who this person is and who she says she is and stuff she says about herself, and one, you might be able to ascertain like what kind of assets she has access to. Now, that's the first thing I just want to touch on. Somewhere, probably Texas, a place like Arizona, maybe New Mexico, is going to have to do a RICO act or RICO level kind of thing for BLM and all the related organizations, because now it's not clear in any way how these people have been dealing with the money. And to the point that, I mean, that it's very, 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 it's a very big deal. Like, because now you have over and over again these people who at some point end up going to jail, who are some kind of BLM activist who did something quite reprehensible, and that they all have like a long list of things that they had done that were criminal acts, and that it seems that what we're looking at is a giant network of people who will go soft on criminals as long as it's in some way, shape, or form beneficial or instigated by BLM and then beneficial to the Democratic Party. And so there's going to be, my call, especially like I think Texas will do this, is that there will be a RICO Act that will be coming out about this in the longest run. And then it will be pushed at the congressional level. And so this will be very, very, very interesting to see the results of it all. What time do we got? Yeah, perfect. So that's my first call, is that there's going to be some kind of RICO Act having to do, and so Patrisse Cullors will be tied directly into this. But it's also that, you see, one of the things is that there's also some things, the fact that this is an openly, the advocates are mostly openly homosexuals of some sort, that every single one of them, like the forgotten one, D. Ray McKesson, who really kind of was the first face of BLM, that he had ripped people off too, and he just vanished, and he now pops up as like some kind of gun control advocate or something like that. So all of this, it is, and then the fact that Open Society Foundation is this organization that advocates mostly for homosexual issues, and so it becomes this thing of, once again, like a few too many coincidences happening with politics of the left. And then the big deal is, too, how did nobody... like Pocket Watchers has long had videos about the money, the pocket watching on BLM. There's a number of accountants, like, and especially this has become important with like black YouTube accountants, going, where's the money? Like, and then really looking into it, looking into all the filings and everything. And so a lot of these stories are a year behind. What a lot of people know, if they were on YouTube looking at people like Pocket Watchers, there's this other really awesome older lady who's really great, really knows her stuff. And a lot of this, there was some stuff they said, this is beyond what I know. But there was some stuff they were like, okay, as an accountant, you should tell your client this isn't going to fly. Like, this isn't going to work. You have to do this, 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 and this. Like, you have to make it clear where this money went, how this money come into existence. Is this revenue? Is it, blah, 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 blah. So this is not clear. And to the point that any accountant would, worth their salt, would tell you this looks as if it looks at best you're grossly negligent in your filings, and it looks at worst like it like money's being hidden, or even worse than that, money being laundered. And that this, over a year ago, people were looking into this and finding this stuff and being like, this is what it would appear to be. You would have to be investigated. There's no way that people would think that this is normal or acceptable. This is not, the acceptable accounting standard or bookkeeping standards. So that's now, whoa. Oh, the Yellow Jackets are back. Well, let's see. Can you see them?
Everybody.
Okay. Gotta get away from them. Yeah, that's, the Yellow Jackets are back. So it's that season. So that's what's now. That's my call. That is my call. And the best. Now, I also wanted to post this in a way that I wanted to kind of do an artistic thing. As all of you who remember David, Mr. Carroll, rest in peace, David Carroll, the maker of endless numbers of black masterpieces. And he told everybody that one of the greatest movies ever was that movie about the Klan. And I don't think he didn't mean it to be shocking. He actually meant it. And that always kind of makes me think maybe I should actually know something about this movie. But the famous one, the really truly famous one of the first motion pictures, that like a president showed it in like the White House or something like that. So apparently there's a 17-minute video. If anybody can post the archived link to Colors and them celebrating the first year anniversary of the death of George Floyd with champagne over snacks, talking about the revolution and saying how we done fucked with they money. Like gangsters, quote unquote, gangsters. So there's also a song called Gangsters that I think applies from the 70s, from the specials. And we are living in true gangsters times. We are living in gangsters times now. And all of these people who believed in BLM, who gave them their money for even a second, you believed that shit was for real or something, you thought that there was something to it, you got suckered. You got suckered by criminals. And they're celebrating on YouTube. So the other thing is somebody at YouTube, I'm betting YouTube legal, all sorts of people, suddenly said, whoa, wait, no, this isn't a good idea. Somehow they figured it out very quickly. This is not a good idea, and they made Colors scrub everything, because one of the places that all this money is going is to YouTube. Going to something called YouTube Black Joy or something. It's supposedly some grant program so that black people can make joyful videos about something. And I'm betting that they're like, this is not going to be a good idea if you keep your stuff up on YouTube, because this is going to disclose assets. They're going to be starting to ask, how much did you pay? How much are you involved with these videos or those videos from the Black Joy thing? It's a way of making sure the assets. There's no way of gleaning that, because I'm sure now there's enough of these lawyers that they're young enough that they know what 4chan is, and they know what will happen is that 4chan already archived the video. The channers have it. The memers have the video. They have all this information. People already have this, a lot of this dirt. So what's going to end up coming of it is, at some point there's going to be just a place where enough of it is in the same place at once that there's going to be a lawyer who's going to smell blood. They're going to smell the money, and they're going to go after BLM, and it's going to be with RICO. They're going to make a fucking fortune. Because there are all sorts of businesses that there's no way they'll ever get their money back or property back. There's no way they could punish the civil government for holding back the police. There's no way they could deal with the AG, so that this is how they're going to be able to get them. They're going to be able to help with this, with a giant RICO case. That's my call. And the whole thing that's really making me think of it is that somewhere there's future Republican legislators that are going to be in the staff. They're going to be staff members of legislators that will be voted in the upcoming months. So these young lawyers are going to be hungry, and a RICO Act against BLM will feed them very well. And there's also various governors and and future people who want to be governors. If they promise, we are going to go after them with the RICO Act, they're going to be governor, and it's going to change everything. And also, there is, too, the end of this that I brought up years ago. Tactical Rabbit's intelligence report on BLM, the lawyers involved, and all their connections to strange organizations all over the place. And the Freedom Road Socialist organization was one of the key ones. It was a key hub. It's still around, still finding it on the internet. You never hear about it, but somehow it's definitely getting funding. And so this is, that's my call. I think that Hoodservative might want to talk about this video. And really, if Hoodservative and the Gulag Gang, if you have some of Colors' stuff archived, is there a way we can kind of have a bunch of links all stacked up someplace in the chat so that we could all take a look at, like, I'm wondering if any of you saw the one where Colors was talking about how she was into Obeah. Like, I mean, now she called it, she was like the Yoruba religion. And I think she was reading from a very specific professor's book on the Yoruba religion. And it was like the real deal. Like, this guy really actually, it looked like a very fascinating book. It was very expensive. But I just wanted to put that out there because I think it's very important that people understand, like, sort of her spiritual views, like the metaphysics of her world. Like, she likes this idea of avenging spirits and kind of, people who died. Like, I mean, if you really think of it, people who were violent and kind of bad, then they died in a bad way that was kind of violent and painful. Everybody's disguising what they were and what they did with lies. And then you drum up a bunch of zombie-fied people to go and destroy the town while they're chanting the name of this dead person or this malevolent spirit. Like, more and more, I'm just seeing, I'm seeing, it's that kind of thing. I'm sure there's a proverb. But yeah, so there we go. That's my call. So I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.